How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaun Attwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. I'm here with the one and only Paula M and the wonderful Babs for a little bit of a expose, a little bit of a two sets of knowledge coming together on the one subject. And that subject tonight is Ron Burkle and Soho House. And just to give everybody a little reminder, I can't find the button right now, but I will find it. Someone keeps deleting all the buttons from my StreamYard setup. So before Ron has to segue into panicking and doing a bit of technical stuff, I'll let Paula. Well, first of all, Babs, how are you doing this week? And it's great to see you back here. And Paula, it's great to see you here too. So yeah, Babs, Paula, sorry, tell us how you're doing it while I quickly try and fix this technical issue.
Babs, go for it.
Oh, I'm just so happy to be here. And after my recent interview with Shaun and Ron last week, we are diving down into another rabbit hole with Paula because she's so knowledgeable about Ron Burkle. I have gone down a little bit down the rabbit hole. It's because I was always with him when I lived in New York for 20 years. And Ron was always with our group. And my group was like David Blaine and all these guys, and he was always hanging around. And I was just wondering, why was he always around us? And then I went with him and my best friend who was human trafficked to Las Vegas. And he was very good friends with Michael Jackson. And I met Michael Jackson. Woo! We went shopping with Michael and we went out. We went to, yeah. And, and who was with us during that time was Ron Burkle's girlfriend, who was working for the Clinton Foundation, and she was also his assistant. So she was from Texas. We kind of connected because of that, because I'm from Texas. So I've always wondered who he was and what did he do. And everybody said he's just a rich billionaire that likes pretty girls. But I never saw him really drinking or doing anything. He was just always hanging around us. And I'm very curious to what and who he is.
And that is, now that I've got this working, Ron Burkle is obviously the white dude on the screen.
No,
just in case anyone knows. So there's a lot that's been going on in the news and a lot of stuff that we need to cover. Not tonight, obviously, Virginia's book, all of this stuff. I've got a lot of stuff coming. And I just want to say thank you to everyone with your patience with me. It's been a long road the last sort of 3-4 months, and I appreciate all of you. So Ron Burkle. Now, during our last interview, Babs, you brought up Ron Burkle, and I heard this little shouting voice in the back of my mind, right, that I couldn't quite hear it. And then it clicked that it was Paula M, right, telling me all about Ron Burkle. So I think what we should do, Babs has got 45 minutes. Why don't you start us off, Babs, and take us through the things that you've heard about Ron Burkle, the places where what's going on in the Soho houses that you've experienced, things like this, and then Paula, you can kind of tie us together after Babs has done that. I think that's probably a good way to start.
Okay. I mean, Paula, you could even ask me some questions because I have so many stories.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to know if you ever went in Ron Burkle's airplane, because apparently he had a competing airplane with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, I did.
That it's now come into question a lot. And actually I heard few stories here at the Windsor Arms Hotel where Prince Andrew used to stay, because he didn't like to stay at the Governor General's house. So he would stay at the Windsor Arms, which is a British hotel. It's beautiful. It was open in 1920. I've learned everything about the hotel. It opened in 1927, and then they shut it down, I believe, in 1995, and then they opened it up again in 1999 when it was bought by somebody else. But it's kept the culture. And Ron Burkle used to come here quite a lot, because this is like a posh. When I say it's a posh hotel, it's like Soho. They don't allow you to film anything inside, and I've tried. So did you go and they talked about it? They talked about his plane. And now the interesting part for me is that he's proper billionaire, unlike Jeffrey, in the sense that he never got tainted over the Diddy things. Never heard his name mentioned, in spite of the fact that he's the godfather to his twin daughters, to the twins or whatever. Did you ever go on that plane? Did you ever feel something weird? Did you meet Jeffrey? Because he was good friends with Jeffrey as well.
So I flew from New York to Las Vegas when we went to go visit Michael Jackson. And then after that, we took the private jet to La Jolla, California. So we landed in a private airport in near San Diego. The airplane was beautiful. It was private. It was just the four of us, plus the staff, plus his assistant. And we went from New York to Las Vegas. There was nothing weird on the plane. We were treated like royalty. We had first class service. Everything was fine. And there was nothing out of the ordinary. So I felt okay. I was just happy to go with my best friend to go see Michael Jackson and meet Michael Jackson at the time. And Ron just had all the connections. So we were just having fun.
Yeah, but
just 1 second, Paul. Just so everyone knows, right? Let me just give everyone I should have done this actually at the start, right? So Ron Burkle's obviously a billionaire. The conspiracies that surround Ron Burkle are that he secretly controls Hollywood, the media, and politics. He's protected Harvey Weinstein and covers up crimes. He owns and buys tabloids to bury stories, Q-style or examine conspiracies linking him to global plots. So there is everything that you would imagine with a evil billionaire character that surrounds this guy. And I should have said that ahead of time.
I want to also point something out that nobody knows where his money come from, because in 1986, he founded something called Yucaipa Companies, which is a private equity firm out of the blue. I mean, this is, and there it's in hospitality, sports, entertainment, logistics, anything, right? And then during the 1992 LA riots, he refused to close his inner city stores, which everybody praised, but they don't know where so much money comes from, because to have a private equity firm, you're talking serious money to start off with in the 1986.
It's kind of like Epstein. Where did Epstein get all his money? He was a school teacher, so I think he was backed by the government somehow, just to like, that guy that was Kanye West's trainer, Asternick, the guy from Canada. I think Ron is similar to him. He just keeps tabs on everyone, and he was always with Giselle and Leo.
How was Michael Jackson? I'm sorry, I have to ask because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. How was he?
He was amazing. He bought me.
Oh my God, when I meet you, I have to touch. I'm going to feel, because I need to touch like I'm touching Michael Jackson. You understand that? I hope you don't mind me groping. I'm asking permission on the internet here very publicly. I have to touch it, because then it's like
he was amazing. And Ron Burkle bought his ranch.
Oh, he's the one. That's true. He bought Neverland.
I think
Neverland.
Listen, I'm not being funny. If you just wake up one morning and you're like, going to buy everything Michael Jackson owns, like, that is money, right? That is not just money. That's
Ron was with him when we were shopping, and there was like no credit card. There was nothing. They said, just send it to Michael's house, the apartment. He was living in the hotel, and he had a penthouse, the whole floor. And there was it was just like, send it there, whatever I wanted. I wanted this crystal. It was like this amethyst crystal necklace from like the 40s. And he got it for me, because I love crystals. And so then my best friend, she got one too.
So Ron Burkle purchased the majority shares on Soho House in 2012. Okay, before that was Nick Jones, who's incredibly tight with the king, with the current king of England. In fact, when Charles became king, one of his first public outings was to go to Soho House. The king, rather than summoning the peasants, the king went to have lunch at Soho House as King Charles with Nick Jones, and allegedly Ron Burkle was there. Him and this other billionaire, which I'm pretty sure you probably heard of, is Johan Elias. He's a Swedish billionaire who owns the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. He's incredibly tight with Andrew. And he comes a lot here with Ron Burkle. They're very well known. Him, Ron Burkle, and of course, well, now Jeffrey's gone, and Andrew. So it's incredibly. I just wanted to know, when he became the owner of Soho House, did you know him when he was already the owner of Soho House, or before that?
This was way before.
Okay, so just to put, Louise is asking here, so what we're saying that Ron Burkle's done wrong. So Babs had brought up on the previous interview that there was this guy, Ron Burkle, she's seen him around, there was rumors, all the rest of it. Paula has a wealth of knowledge on it, and it all circles around human transportation, this allure of beautiful women, this closeness with suspicious characters. Now, obviously, there's the image with him and Diddy. Then there is Naomi Campbell, who ties into Diddy that Babs has told us about, godparents to his children. Babs has witnessed alleged horrific human transportation that has gone on with Naomi Campbell. And it all ties into the face we could be looking at now may very be one of those. It maybe not be the fingers at the top, but it's damn well the strings in between the top level and the Diddies, if you see what I'm saying. He's definitely not, bloodline cabal ruler of the world, but he's one step closer up the ladder, in my humble opinion. Okay.
Oh, he's way. I think you are under evaluating him, because I think this guy is top of the food chain.
Yeah,
let me tell you why. Because usually, I hate to say, I always tell you, let me tell you why. But let me tell you why. Because I think usually the people in real power are the ones that are never at the front. They're the quiet ones. That's Fergie and Beatrice. Those are the people who are in real power. And then they put people like Andrew, like Jeffrey, like Oprah, those are the noisy ones, because they are the ones that are controlling everything. I mean, the fact that his name came out unscathed. I mean, he's Diddy's business partner. Nobody thought to look.
And the godfather.
And the godfather of his twins, yes. So I have to ask you, so when did you meet Ron Burkle? What year? Do you remember?
2001, 2002.
Wow. Are you still in contact with him, or?
No, but I see him in Malibu when we go
trick-or-treating. Be careful, Babs, because Paula will make you call him now live on the show so she can berate him. Okay? I'm just saying this right now. Paula will happily call his ass and be like, got some questions for you, Ronnie boy. We're live.
Me too. Me too. I wanted to go up to him every year at Halloween and say, were you helping traffic my girlfriend, and why? I want to say, and I see him with his beautiful Brazilian wife. She's like 28 years old, and they have
That's disgusting.
He's disgusting, and he has his stupid toupee that flaps over. We used to always make fun of his toupee, and I dared my girlfriend. I was like, what if we lift it up a little bit?
There's no way.
By accident. Oh, sorry.
He wears a toupee. That is a toupee right there, as you can see. He's disgusting.
Wait, is this Ron Burkle's wife? This can't be
He's
Ron.
not gentleman-like. No.
That's not. No, that's
Isn't that Keira Knightley?
No, it's.
I'm not wearing my glasses. I can see.
I don't know. Maybe.
But I mean, isn't it? So you met him. How did you end up meeting this guy? Was he a billionaire already? He must have been, because if he had the private equity in 1986. But it's insane, because in order to start a private equity company, you need at least $400 million back in 1986. We're talking billion money.
He also owns all the grocery stores.
Well, Paula, this could be tying into exactly what I was saying about how I don't think he's top of the food chain. I think what we could be looking at here is the next stage in the criminal enterprise that is the global elites, where you have an individual like this that is the front man.
Yep.
For the next level up to feed money into, to create these laundering firms and to facilitate these things. That could be the answer to where those money and those fundings come from, Paula, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think so.
So you met him in 2002. How did you meet him?
So because I was dating this guy that was producing David Blaine's shows, things like that. I was engaged to him, and it was just that group we hung out with. They hung out with Leonardo, Giselle, all these people, and he was always around us. And then my girlfriend got involved with that whole group, and Naomi Campbell was one of her best friends, and she was human trafficked by them, and she invited me so many times down to the island, and I didn't go.
So you know the guy. So once you met him, this is the thing. You see, this is the kind of guy
But
that's always hanging around and you don't know who he is.
he never like, he was always very controlled. Like he never drank, he never was out of the ordinary. He wore the same shirt and jeans all the time. It was a polo collar Ralph Lauren shirt with jeans. That's how he dressed. That's how they all dressed. Even my ex dressed like that. They all dressed the same. And
Yeah.
he was always with us at the clubs. And I'm like, why is he always around? And then in 2005 is when he was dating my friend from Texas. She was working for the Clinton Foundation. And that's when we flew on the private jet, 2007, we flew on the jet.
Well, with Jeffrey, he also had regular people on the jet. I mean, it doesn't mean that, like when he had, for example, Chris Tucker and all those people when they went, like, of course, and they loved it was private and stuff like that. But then they would
it's a front. They take the jet with celebrities to get to where they need to, and then they have the party, and whoever wants to participate, they're just kind of like the front.
Keep in mind as well.
They may not do everything, but they're there, and if they want to do stuff, it's an
yeah. Here's the thing. So if every evil billionaire in the world was handpicked because they were an evil PDF file monster, there would be a short bucket. There would be there'll be a short list for the evil elites because they are the minority. So you'll have people in the criminal enterprise that might not be into certain things, but are happy to turn a blind eye because $400 million investments, a national worth of 3.7 billion is enough for some people to be like, it's just some kids whose lives are being torn apart. No biggie, as long as I'm making that bank. So exactly what you said there. It doesn't mean that they're all of the same lifestyle, but they're definitely a cog. There's definitely some people that are cogs, some people that are flat out innocent, but 100% there is definitely cogs.
And it's the same way for modeling. Like they had models like, they have models like Giselle and Naomi Campbell. They're the front to bring the other girls in that will do whatever is necessary to entertain the evil men.
Correct. Because Myra Hindley set the foundation for how women can be weaponized as the less threatening and the more approachable.
I think he was also doing stuff with Leo. I think Leo is also compromised. I think he's a slave.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. I feel that he's like kind of like a Kanye West. Like he was MK Ultra and controlled, and he's kind of like, that's why he can't get married and have a normal relationship. Oh my God. It goes really deep, doesn't it?
And I was going to ask you when you met him and then he bought Soho House. So these people are like, they have two lives, don't they? They have the lives or the mask that they wear with people like you. And then they have the other when they remove the mask and you see their real them. Because there's no way that you're hanging around these kinds of people and you know nothing about, not you, I mean him. Because these people are very careful.
Understand. I was
no, but this guy's very careful, Babs, and who he hangs around with. These kinds of people do vet others.
It is very interesting to me that I didn't even know he is Diddy's godfather and Naomi is the godmother.
Naomi is I'm looking at some things into Naomi Campbell, and I was shocked that she is an ambassador for the King's Trust. Along with now, who's an ambassador for the King's Trust right now, that I was shocked that he made this person, I can't remember the name, but he just made this other person an ambassador for the King's Trust. And I'm like, oh yeah, that Emma Grede, the one with the Kardashians. I mean, there's so many things that are going so wrong. And people have told the then Prince Charles not to nominate her, not to name her an ambassador to the Princess Trust, as it was known. Now it's the King's Trust. But it's, so you met Ron Burkle, then he buys Soho House, which, the majority stake shareholder. He's the majority shareholder for Soho House from Nick Jones. Nick Jones owns a minority, and there being quite a few shady things going on at Soho House because Harvey Weinstein would, for example, those were his hunting grounds.
Wow.
He used to finance Harvey Weinstein movies. He tried to finance the takeover from the Weinstein movies Miramax he almost financed that to have like
Control.
What do you mean? Is
that
that
all
you?
ties in with your story, Babs. Like, just your movie.
He's probably a donor. I mean, he probably donated money to the found. I mean, they donate money, you know.
No, well, Harvey Weinstein. Ron Burkle was very close friends with Harvey Weinstein, and they produced a lot of films together. And Burkle financed Weinstein's the brothers trying to take over Miramax in 2010.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like all of that is crazy enough.
This is so deep.
Yeah, the pictures of him with 3 different presidents is another one. We've got Obama, we've got the Clintons, and we've got Trumpenstein.
He's
And
probably trying to blackmail him again.
You yourself was made a movie. You got offered a movie by Weinstein,
Yes.
and turned down the Sell Your Soul side contract that went with that.
Cold Mountain.
I mean, did that come after you met Ron Burkle? Was there a possibility that was him choosing?
Yes, that's a possibility, because my best friend who got human trafficked had to come rescue me with Lindsay Lohan. Do you remember when Lindsay Lohan was written up in the New York Post when she left the club and the bag of cocaine fell out of her pocket when she was jumping into the cab?
Listen, I'll be honest. I can't remember specifically. No,
that was Harvey Weinstein's cocaine that he gave to me that I didn't take, and I gave it to her because she partied, and it was dropped because she dropped it on the street, and everybody was like, and that was actually his.
Damn.
And she got in trouble for it, and she's actually a good girl. She's not a bad person.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think no one knows Lindsay Lohan. I'll be honest.
She's a nice
there was always been something.
I know. Her mom sold her off. Her mom's terrible.
I always thought there was something more to it.
And so she was dating my friend. Because they were like lesbian, you know, whatever. And they were always at the parties together. And they partied. So Lindsay started as a young girl, and she was already in the industry. So like all that stuff didn't matter to her. She was like in it already, you know. So it was.
So you can almost say that a lot of desensitizing ahead of the time compared to what you had. And okay, so let's just put together where we're at. So you met Ron Burkle. He took you on his jet. You met Michael Jackson. Whirlwind of an experience, I would imagine.
That's his house.
That then leads on to a movie offer from Harvey Weinstein, where there's connections there also.
And Renee Zellweger, allegedly.
Renee Zellweger as well. And now, you yourself, you've talked about Soho House, Babs. Paula, you've talked about it. Can you share your experiences, just quickly, Babs, with what you kind of have witnessed with the lifestyle that surrounds a man like this? Is it the same as most of the other sad elements of your these horrible parts of your career that have been like that?
Well, when I was at the Soho House in London, it was terrible. That's where I had my encounter with Naomi. We got in a big fight, and one of the guys said, "They're going to remove you out of here." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then she was boasting that Oprah Winfrey was going to make her a book deal or something, and she was going off on me and yelling at me in the bathroom in front of everyone. But there is something very, that Soho House, out of all the Soho houses I've been to, there is something going on there. The one in London.
Did it give vibes of it almost like this is the epicenter? This was the first one.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know why
I saw a lot of girls.
That's because evil, leaves a heavy atmosphere. Okay, if you're just walking around normally and you walk past someone evil, you don't pick up on it. But when they gather, when it's repetition of
there could be underground tunnels. I think could be leading to the royals. I don't know, but there's something very dark about that.
It's not funny. It's funny you mentioned tunnels, Babs, because we were talking to a friend of ours a few weeks ago, Paula, and we were talking about the Soho House in Canada, about how it's opposite one of the biggest hotel chains, one of the finest hotels, and there is indeed tunnels that go from Soho House to that hotel underground for certain individuals, shall we say.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something, the lady who told us, she ain't... If there was anyone that we know that had a bank account that could be badass enough to experience all of it, not the horrible stuff, it would be our friend. And it was certainly eye-opening when she said that, Paula, right? Because it kind of was just like, well, there you go. I mean, if there's tunnels that people who aren't evil monsters know about and can use, there's definitely going to be the possibility of the evil underground highway existing for sure. So
I think that's a possibility. Have you heard anything, Paula?
Well, for example, there was somebody was killed in 2010. This designer, she was killed, and this is we have to see where Soho House comes from, which is I think it was in 1985 that it was open in the Greek area of London, in the shady area of London, Soho House. Yeah. And it was just like, it was actually like a private members club, and by accident it became a hotel, because they were allowing people to stay on top of on the second floor and stuff like that. But it's originally from London, and the interesting part of it all is that Marcus Anderson, who's Meghan Markle's bestie, he went from Canada. He's from Peterborough, a little town outside of Toronto, and he was taken to London, the main house, to work from there in the late 1990s when it was opened. And he went there as a bartender. But it's really weird, because why would you fly a man from Toronto to London when you have a lot of people in London doing that? And this is where the theories come that he may be Prince Andrew's son, because it doesn't make any sense that they would fly somebody when a place is starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What does he look like?
Ron, pictures.
Which guy?
Marcus.
Marcus.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
he very?
Let me just pretext.
Yeah, and he was ahead. He worked his way up, because the owner, Nick Jones, is the one who originally started this.
Okay.
Took a shining to him. He even
listen. We've talked about Naomi Campbell and the power of the women being the softer, weaponized use for going out and getting women and recruiting all the rest. I want you to imagine now in your head, ladies and gentlemen, if you were sending out a male handler, okay, to go and be in charge of someone like Meghan Markle, all the rest of it, this is the sort of guy you would send. Now, this image says 1,000 words, okay? This is Marcus right here.
Wow. If
that isn't the definition of shady, right?
Wow.
That there is not a pure thought in the mind of
okay. So this is Prince Andrew's alleged son?
That's what the record...
He looks like him. He's good looking, very good looking guy. Wow.
She almost looks happy in that picture. Do you know that, Paula? She almost looks happy.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that they sent for him from London, from Canada to London, late 1990s, as soon as the Soho House was founded, because Soho House, isn't that something?
It's
Soho House opened in 1995, and Marcus Anderson got there in 1999, and he started working as a boy, whatever, and then he worked his way up the ranks. And I was mistaken, because now that I'm here in Toronto today, literally, I came from talking to somebody who was Marcus' assistant here in Toronto.
So he basically is the slave to his family. He has to recruit.
I don't know, but the thing is that he was taken. It makes no sense that they would get this gentleman.
That's what it is. He works for them. He's their slave. He has to recruit people.
And the thing is, though, he's the only one. When he turned 40, Nick Jones designed a wine. It's called Lady A, a rosé called Lady A for him.
Wow.
I can understand why Harry self-medicates a lot now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
he probably sold Meghan to Harry, and then they felt I think they're really in love. I do think they love each other.
Who? Harry and Meghan? No. Not from what I know. What I found out, it's terrible. What I found out is horrible. This woman doesn't know the meaning of the word love. Okay.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, Babs, you can come and join us one week for a Royal Mace.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. But let me just tell you about Ron Burkle. The thing is that apparently Ron Burkle took a very special interest on him and this guy. But also, I was wondering when you were in Soho House and all the Soho, from what I understand, people like Meghan Markle or yacht girls were around.
Oh,
Did you ever get any feeling or any inkling of that? And you thought, what are these girls doing with these men?
Yes. I had to go there for many meetings, even with my agency, and that was the time when they asked me if I wanted to go do the Pirelli calendar, and it was on a yacht, and they were going to pay me $150,000 to do the Pirelli calendar. And I said, absolutely not. But a lot of the models that were coming for the meeting were accepting the job.
Wow.
Yes, that's why I went there. It was always for meetings, for jobs.
So these girls, did you ever meet any of these girls?
Yes, I spoke to all of them. They're Eastern European models.
Did you ever meet Meghan?
No.
Or that you would remember? Probably you wouldn't remember her.
No, I never saw her.
That's really weird because she spent a lot of time in Soho House. But with Ron Burkle, when he became the owner, did you know that he was the owner of Soho House?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
I found out later. And then when I was going out in New York with him all the time, I had no idea. I had
But
no
you were
idea.
going to Soho House there, and didn't you wonder why he was at Soho House?
I wasn't there with him. I was there
No. But when you went to Soho House, and he was there, something not with him, but he was.
I didn't know. I had no idea. I just found out he's the owner. I had no idea. I just found out.
Just now?
Like a week ago when I had my interview with Shaun and Ron.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't even know.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea.
Right.
I was like,
so,
yeah.
That's why I had to make sure that I introduced you.
Oh my good Lord. So you didn't know that you were hanging out with, did you know he was the godfather to Diddy's kids?
No.
And he was a business partner to Diddy?
No. And I worked for Shaun John for 5 years.
And you didn't know, but he was hanging around him all the time.
It was just our circle. I had no idea. They're all connected. And they were probably trying to get me too. And I had no idea. They were always trying to get me to drink. I never drink.
This is one of the things that you were talking about them. He never drank or anything because they try to stay in control. They're not stupid. Also, he probably knew what Diddy was putting in people's drinks. You know, he probably didn't want to find himself one of these days in the knees or.
But look, Leo was always at the white parties, at Shaun's white parties.
Did you go there to the white parties and stuff?
I never went to the white party. No. I knew what was going on there. I never went. They also had white parties at the Soho House.
Yeah, I know that, for example, when Shaun launched his clothing line, he launched it at Soho House. And he was with Ron Burkle because, of course, Ron Burkle was his business partner.
Do you want to hear a crazy story? Now
Please.
I'm connecting the dots.
Please.
There is a building here in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, where the Soho House is, Ford models, and guess whose yoga studio was there? That jerk, Russell Simmons.
He was there. Did you know that Ron Burkle also is an investor with Ashton Kutcher?
I can't.
Did you know that, Ron?
So they would get the agency, Ford Models, to bring the girls to Soho House. Then they would all go do yoga. And I heard there were bad things that were going on at that yoga studio. And then he got in trouble. Russell Simmons had to close down the yoga studio. This was before COVID. This was like 2018. And then now he's in jail or in Bali. So they're all working together. Oh my God.
And Ashton Kutcher is also. Did you know also that Ron Burkle is a major investor in Uber, Spotify, and Airbnb, the actual companies. I mean, other companies as well, and also with Ashton Kutcher and Guy Osheri. and they are specially they specialize in digital, keeping children safeguarded. And this is the thing that I always say, that these predators will insert themselves in for example, in charitable endeavors with children, because those are their hunting grounds. So, because don't forget that Ashton Kutcher went before Congress speaking on behalf of the kids and everything, while being very questionable himself. And Ron Burkle was also one of his main investors for that, trying to keep the kids safe in digital environment. It's I do believe he's at the center of everything. And you didn't know any of this when you were hanging around him.
No. This is crazy.
Did you ever meet Misha Nunu or Harvey Weinstein's wife? Or
He was, when I met Harvey, we were with Renee Zellweger, and she was helping him, trying to get me to go to the hotel after and read. He was staying at the Carlisle Hotel in New York, and my agent came with me to dinner at Cipriani's, and I felt safe because she was there and Harvey was there. And then when the dinner was over, they asked if I wanted to go to Bungalow 8. And that's another breeding ground for models and people like him. And Amy Sacco's the owner of Bungalow 8. She also has one in London. Oh my God. I can't.
Renee Zellweger wanted you to go with Harvey Weinstein?
I'm sorry?
You said that Renee Zellweger, did I understand?
He was
correctly?
in the movie. She was going to be in the movie Cold Mountain, and I speak Bulgarian, and they wanted to cast me because we were filming in Bulgaria, and they wanted a girl who spoke Bulgarian, and I'm beautiful, and I was also in Scientology at the time. So
oh
it
my
was,
dear Lord, you were in Scientology?
It just gets
my God.
the plot thickens.
Oh man. Oh my
Every chapter of Babs' life, Paula.
Oh, Bob, yes,
been
come to my
easily-
channel. We're gonna do a deep dive on you, woman.
I
That is
could have easily
absolutely
been-
terrible.
I could have easily been human trafficked, easily.
Yeah, 100%.
If
So
I
how
took
did you get out? How did you get out with Ron Burkle? How did you fall out with him?
there was no getting out. It's just like you have to take the bait.
Okay, but you're no longer talking to him, right?
No.
But
Because when my friend passed away, it was done. Like there was no more connection to that world.
so you never had like a connection with him.
I've spent New Year's with him. I've gone on trips. I've been in parties. I've been to restaurants. I've been to events with all these people and him. And he was always around. Always around.
Did you meet Prince Harry? Did I understand you met Prince Harry? No?
I saw him at the club when we were in the event at China White in London, and he was always out and partying and with the models. And there was like the soccer players, all those guys, and my agency invited me to the parties because they wanted pretty girls there.
That's insane. What do you think about this guy? What do you think, from what you know of him, when you talk to him, was he like a smart person or weaselly or what?
Weaselly and smart, very weasel, smart. He was very selective with his words, very controlled, watched everything, always like this. Never danced, just always like this. Watching, like he was my friends, when they would visit me from Texas or wherever, they're like, is that a bodyguard? Is that Leo's bodyguard?
Are you kidding?
I swear. And look, all these people were on the Lolita Express. Leo, David Blaine, Ron Burkle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also they went on his plane. They went on his plane. Did Leo ever go on Ron Burkle's plane? Because we don't know that. Everybody's focusing so much on Jeffrey,
of course,
but not
they went on vacations together. They were on vacations together.
But also
with
because
Giselle. With Giselle. I think Giselle is not even a woman, supposedly.
Oh
or Naomi. I don't think they're women.
Naomi, something weird with Naomi. But because there was an unhealthy competition between the parties that they threw and Jeffrey Epstein's and his planes. There was a competition and that people are not talking about it. So this is why I wanted to ask you if you ever heard any of that.
I just know they were taking the celebrities on many events, many places, that he was always with celebrities. It was like he was their bodyguard.
But do you get the feeling now, looking back, that he was with celebrities because they were like his prey? They were like, he was looking, okay, I got this, like you say, Leo. I do believe that Leo is owned to myself.
Yeah. I
You
think
know,
he was bringing the celebrities to maybe Epstein's condo, and then the models will follow.
but also to Ron, because the thing is that Ron is going so much under the radar. I don't mean you, Ron. I mean like
Yeah.
Ron Burkle. He's gone so much under the radar because, again, the P. Diddy's trial was huge, and yet you never heard of Ron Burkle. And I've mentioned this on the videos I've done about Diddy. I've always wondered why this guy wasn't hauled to be a witness, to testify, because he would know.
I want to ask him questions about my friend. That's what I want to know. What did he do to my friend? Who was the guy that he got her hooked on drugs with? There was this guy in Paris that Naomi sent my best friend to. He owned a jean brand company. I'm not going to say who it is, but he was very bad with her. And I had to go fly to London or to Paris to go get her from London. I was in London and I had to fly to Paris to rescue her because she was so high on drugs all the time. She stayed in his beautiful penthouse apartment in Paris, in Saint-Germain, the most expensive place in Paris. And she had the whole place to herself, and he would just supply her drugs all day long.
And you know, one of the things that I was surprised because you mentioned Oprah, Ron Burkle is incredibly tight with Oprah. But these are friendships that you never see again.
Yeah. I don't think they're friends. I think they're business associates.
Yeah, there's something. 100%.
You don't think that they're friends?
I mean, they're for business or whatever to cover up their stuff. I think they're friends like for that reason. Why else would you be friends?
And during the time that you were there, and you said that you met a lot of the girls going to Soho House, did you ever get the feeling that these girls were like hired? For example, Meghan Markle, from what I understand, she was what it's called a carpet filler. Yeah. Like, for example, but they were something else, but they would call them carpet fillers. For example, when she was flown to Istanbul to fill the red carpet when they opened the Soho House, but it was to entertain the VIPs, whatever they wanted.
That's what it is.
She was flown for a weekend. Did you ever notice these girls, like maybe one of them was, because apparently he's the mastermind behind it, and that from what I understand, he uses Soho House and he films people because it's a hotel too. He has and he films people. I mean, this guy is next level. I think he's worse than Jeffrey, to tell you the truth. But did you ever get the sense that these girls were there against their wishes?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And if I let my guard down, they would have went after me too. They were always trying with me. Always. Even my best friend that was human trafficked, she wanted me to go with her. And I said no.
Wow.
It's scary to think, Barbs, that something as simple as not drinking is the difference between a real major tragic ending.
No.
Well, I did go to Soho in London, a London Soho House once in 2005. Yeah. And I went to the bar and I ordered a drink, right? And that's the only drink I had. And I lost it. I don't remember very much of it. And the next day, my friend told me, because I was with a group of friends, and my friend said to me, why did you drink? And I'm like, I asked for Long Island iced tea. It was the first drink I was going to have.
Wow.
And he goes, you couldn't even speak, Paula. They were like, I don't know, what do you mean? I couldn't even remember being standing in the bar getting the drink.
Yeah.
And then, this is why whenever I go anywhere now, I have a bottle of wine, open it here, or a beer, and you open it, or I open it myself.
Yeah.
You always have a beer.
That's crazy, Paula.
Did you get any feeling at all from this guy that this guy could ever get in trouble or could be caught when Jeffrey Epstein or Diddy came out, or everybody?
Absolutely. I was waiting waiting for the floodgates to open because I know he is bad.
And what do you think that he had? Nobody. Why do you think he hasn't been rounded up?
He's too powerful. He's too control. He obviously works for the government. He works for someone big. I think he maybe works for the Clinton Foundation.
Well, he's very tight with Clinton. He's very tight with Clinton, and that article that we showed eurlier on, that's him financing Clinton's campaign.
And the Epstein files are sealed by the Clintons.
Oh, yeah. This is it's all starting.
That's why Pam Bondi and Kash Patel can't unseal it, because it's already sealed, and it's sealed by a judge that is appointed by Obama.
Damn.
You know that Ron Burkle and Bill Clinton, they became incredibly tight in the 1990s because Bill Clinton is part of he went into business to help set up the Yucaipa companies, which is the big companies of the private equity firms.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This is all very connected, and I think with people like you and I, we could really go down a rabbit hole and really open up some doors.
100%.
Isn't that something that how did Clinton end up being an advisor to Yucaipa when they first started, which is the main equity firm that made this guy already a billionaire? And Clinton was his advisor on how to set it up and everything.
Wow.
Clinton is a lawyer. People forget Clinton is a lawyer.
Wow. This is incredible. This is really incredible. This is deeper than we could even imagine.
It's when we're dealing with these billionaires, whether it's the hand or the strings or the puppet, they're all connected. When we talk, there's the criminal pyramid. Okay, the person at the top, the people that fund everything, they're at the top of the pyramid, and it's the layers underneath that we start seeing. And it doesn't matter if it's the guy on the street corner; it's the same pyramid. You know, the guy on the street corner is a small piece in the pyramid. I'll bring that up in just 1 second for you, Paula.
Do you think the information that I'm sharing with you, Paula, do you think it's helpful?
Absolutely. I mean, I like to pick your brains more because I'm sure there's a lot of things that once we get talking, probably you'll remember more things, and it'll be because which Soho have you been to? London, Malibu, New York? I assume
all of them.
Have you been to Toronto? Because the one in Toronto sucks.
I've
been here, and that's terrible.
There is the one in Toronto. Supposedly that one is really dark too, like the one in London, because that's where all the royals go. And there's some sort of connection. I know the one in Toronto and the one in London are the worst.
I mean, when I went there the first time, the smell is what really hit me. It smells like sweat, like a sweatshop, like it's terrible. It's dark and dingy.
That's the one in London smelled like that too. It smelled disgusting.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's very interesting because now they're refurbishing it. They're fixing even the phone booth. You know how they have a phone booth? Do you know how you take pictures in the phone booth?
Oh, yes.
It's gone.
Just before you get to your next point, Paula, can I just ask everyone to like and subscribe? Please share this out. And I've got a couple of questions from the audience, if that's all right, just for Bab. Just
okay. I have a few more minutes. So
yeah, that's okay. Barbara, do you know Kelly Killoren Benesom, model from Roni?
Ben Simon.
She seemed very damaged by the industry.
I have to see her face. I'm bad with names.
I'm the same. Don't worry.
Kelly Ben Simon. She's.
Gilles Ben Simon. Oh, he's the worst. I worked.
All right, that was me butchering the terminology there.
Oh no, I know Gilles Ben Simon. How do you know Kelly Ben Simon from Scene Bear? Oh yes, he probably yes. That's Gilles Ben Simon's wife. He was a very bad photographer. Very terrible photographer.
Okay. She was with Tyra Banks. Gilles Ben Simon.
Okay, next one. Hi, Barb.
He is probably like Stephen Guillermo, who is affiliated with Diana Jenkins, which I would love to go down that rabbit hole. But
Diana Jenkins, I've met her a couple of times here already.
Wow.
I've been very busy here in Toronto.
Yeah. Listen, when are you ever not busy? Paula. Like,
she
so
is connected too.
okay, hi Barb. What are your thoughts on the Mexican supermodel who disappeared in 2009 after talking about the elites eating young ones, Gabriela Rico Jimenez? Did you know her? Do you believe her?
I don't know her. I vaguely heard about the story, but I believe her. Like, if a girl's just coming out of nowhere saying things like that, I believe her. Like, nobody just comes out saying they went to an event eating humans or whatnot. I would believe her, but I didn't know her.
Not so much of a question, but just to bolster my point from earlier. Again, do not ever trust the double denim. Okay, that's twice. I'm just saying it's a warning.
Even though it's in style right now, double denim.
Listen, it doesn't matter. Okay, so again, if I've not gotten to everyone's questions, I do apologize. We thought we were going to have a little bit longer with Babs here today. Babs, I'm helping Babs get her channel freaking finally set up. And what we're hoping is the future live shows, what we want to be able to do is do the main show on the Shaun Attwood channel, and then start doing the Q&As and the after chats and things over with Babs, so that we can help her build her audience. She's got her little group for models and survivors who've gone through what so many of the men and women of the industry have gone through. And it's really about help them create that platform, and of course give them as much as we can offer them with the Shaun Attwood channel to get all of that out there. Now, before Babs has to go, Paula, have you got anything else you want to?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, there's loads of questions. But
version.
I wanted to ask you. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think? Well, we have to talk more. You have to come to my channel, but what do you make of the fact that Ron Burkle has come out unscathed about everything, and now that you know that he's the godfather to Diddy's children, that he didn't speak out for him? What do you make of that?
He's guilty. The ones that are quiet are guilty.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
If you're not outspoken, you're guilty.
Well, judging by the comment section after most of my interviews, I'm definitely not guilty of anything because I'm a chatty boy.
Me neither. And you know, I've been outspoken, and I've been outspoken for so long. I even have I don't take any. I'm not sponsored by anyone. This is all just me and giving my story, so I could have more victims and survivors reach out. And you know, once I get my channel uploaded and going, I wish more people would come out, and I will happily interview you guys and, you know, get more survivors together. But I'm looking forward to our part 2, but you guys could keep going while I leave.
Yeah, listen, trust me, Paula and I will be continuing having a little chat here when you go. But that I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been so supportive of Barbara sharing her story. The journey. I mean, when we first met Babs, it was just one interview. We were going to do that, and it's just we've kept it going, and it's going to move forward into something that I think is really going to shed a lot of light on the men and, of course, the women in the industry. And we've got a bunch of other shows planned, but I can tell you this right now: we're probably going to have to do a Ron Burkle part 2, because Paula's got about this many questions out of this many questions answered. Okay, and I just want to say to everyone on the Shaun Attwood side of things, I am trying really hard to shut up. Okay, I'm going to do better. I'm trying to work on it so that you guys are not so stressed out by my yapping. So I am trying. But Paula, anything else that you want to throw at Babs just before she has to go?
No, I mean, I can't wait to. I know you have to go, but please come to my channel. But we should meet up here on Shaun Attwood, because it's incredible. Okay. You have such a powerful voice to use, because you've known these people firsthand. Nobody's telling you this. And even though Ron Burkle didn't show you how evil he is, but you know, you're not around like Oprah. That's another story, you know, but you're not around these kinds of people, and you come out unscathed. I mean, you managed to escape, even though you were on the other end of it, you know, and there were the predators, but they were the predators and you were the prey, but you were smarter and you didn't bite the bait.
Plus as well, Paula, you got to think that there's levels to the prey as well, you know, and Babs would have been quite top tier prey. Do you see what I mean? She had a very big career. and it's it's scary to think what could have been.
Yeah.
But luckily you're here. They didn't stop you. The train has left the station and it is barreling down the runway now to giving the platform, giving a voice, and anything we can do. And after this show, I'll make a group for you, me, and Paula on WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Okay, just so because
yes, of course. I have to have you both. We should, the three of us, get together in my channel and you just chat away with wine.
100%
with wine, because unless I'm Burkle, I do drink.
Right.
Let's do a drunk Friday night.
We'll get all that set up. But I don't want to keep.
Thank you so much for having me,
Barbara. It's a pleasure as always. I'll speak to you tomorrow, Babs, and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Bye, bye, Barbara.
Bye.
Isn't she just fabulous?
Dear Lord, this woman touched evil. This woman touched evil, and she got out unscathed, buddy boy. I mean, this woman is blessed that she didn't get, that they didn't swallow her up in that vortex of.
Do you know what's crazy? When you look at the grand algorithm of life, right? And you're like, surely this can't happen to everyone that's in the industry. Surely there's got to be one person that's dodged all these bullets. She's the one, man. She is Neo from the Matrix on the top of that building. Just doing this, man. 100%. But how crazy is it to think that the one...
She took the blue pill. She didn't take the red pill.
She didn't take any pill. She brought her own pill. Okay, that's what she did. She brought her own pill, because it's crazy to think just how many lives would be different if it was just as simple as not taking a drink. And that's actually crazy to think about.
You know what? I know this is something really dumb that doesn't go on that, but somebody told me if you go to a Chinese restaurant and the owner or Chinese people are not there eating, don't eat there. So when you have somebody like Ron Burkle not drinking at his own clubs or not telling people that he's the club owner, that should tell you something, because if you're proud of something, you boast about. You know what I mean? Or maybe not boast about, oh yeah, but this is my club, here's a member, whatever. But the fact that he kept it mum,
it's crazy. And you've got to ask yourself, is that something that these billionaires have learned from the previous billionaire that got caught, and how it can disrupt their inner systems by having so many connections? It really does make you wonder. Now, a royal mess. We'll be back this week. I'm trying to work on a new format because there is a madness going on right now in the whole royal landscape. So we will be getting back to talking about it. Don't worry. Everybody has been waiting on me. I'm going through some stuff.
We will always wait on you. We will always wait on you. Shut up.
Paula, I love you a bit. You're like, you are one of my bestest friends, and you've been awesome.
We'll always kick your ass when you need it.
Yeah.
Don't come to me for
no. I would not. Yeah, but here's an interesting one. I mean, it's a sad one, but it's an interesting one. Ron Burkle had a son that passed away, and it's not quite, the 27 club, but he was 26, and I do believe he passed away in their home. And you can call me kind of foolish or whatever, but there's a lot of billionaires, there's a lot of people in the music industry that have got these conspiracies tied to them around loved ones passing away, and Kanye West is a prime example of that. You can call it what you want. Maybe it's a moot point, maybe it was just a tragic natural occurrence. But it was a weird thing I found on the internet about this. I don't know, Fifi. That's exactly why I mentioned it. See, Fifi, I'm glad you said that, because that's what I thought. And it's scary to think. But just circling back to Marcus Anderson, right? Because we kind of let him off lightly.
Yeah.
Because I asked Babs, just imagine this is your wife, okay? And this is the image you see pop up somewhere. I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that you wouldn't have some questions as her husband with this picture. And when we talk about the bigger picture here, we talk about the handlers, we talk about taking away the conspiracy and bringing forward the conspirifacts. Babs and Paula paint this two different halves of this story come together with Marcus Anderson, the potential handling of Meghan Markle, all of the associates that tie back, and the things that Barbara's witness, her friends have gone through, and the tragedies that have occurred, there seems to be this deep-rooted evil that not only circulates around children, but also circulates around beautiful women, and control and power through what can come from men being lured by said beautiful women into scenarios of blackmail or just horrific self-indulgent moments of horror that fragment and destroy these lives. It's
no, and not only that, he's now the global, this is basically of all the Soho houses, he's the global membership director. He decides who has a membership to Soho House globally, and he started working as a waiter.
That is Giga Pimp. The title of Giga Pimp. Okay. That is wild.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, that he started, as I said, he's from a little town here outside of in Ontario. And one of the first job he had was to be sent over to London, where he started working for Soho House. And he's the one who crafts the guest list from some of the biggest celebrity parties.
I'm sorry. Buck Rogers just said, never be a simp. Do you know that's the equivalent of not being a woman and not drinking at these parties? Never be a simp, boys. It can lead to no good
things. Did you know that he was named once in 2014, Toronto's Life's 50 most influential people in 2014, the year when he was pimping Meghan Markle out.
Did he just come out of nowhere as well, Paula? I mean,
he went to London. He was flown to London to Soho House, where he started working as a waiter, but quickly with thanks to Nick Jonas, he became he rose through the ranks like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's another one of these individuals that comes out of nowhere. We've got one on one side, Ron Burkle suddenly becomes a multimillionaire, billionaire out of nowhere. Then we have Marcus Anderson, a waiter that now becomes the giga pimp of all of these Soho franchises around the world. There is a clear display that there is a plan, there's individuals picked, there's a process, and the fingers that control the strings. You know, I don't think we have ever had so much information coming that is connecting all of this together. I mean,
yeah, the thing is, you know that Meghan, I probably forgot because you're always forgetting, Ron, but yes. Meghan flew to Jamaica in 2017 and crashed that wedding thing with Harry was there and Fergie was there, along with Eugenie and Prince Andrew, which is Guy Pelly's, I think it was Guy Pelly's wedding, Prince Harry's former friend. And Meghan flew via private plane, while Harry flew in an economy plus from London to Jamaica. Meghan was flown via private plane belonging to Ron Burkle.
Oh, you know, that Vijaya S, that was what I forgot to ask about Meghan and the individuals that partaked in the particular yacht party she attended to. We'll save that for part 2, because that was the one that I forgot to ask. Not that I got a chance to ask, because Paul was on a roll, and it's easier to let Paula deliver amazing content than 30% of what I'm saying just be ADHD ramble. So I appreciate
the girl on the right is Misha Nunu, another woman that's like Meghan.
That's not his wife or anything.
No. That's Misha Nunu, who was on the yacht with Meghan. Let me see.
This guy. So this is just a guy hanging out with 2 other people's wives, just hanging out.
And he's the one who introduced them to. She said Misha Nunu with the multi-million. I think she's divorced him now, but she was there with them. I'll post a picture here for you, Ron.
So we've got one woman here who was introduced to her husband, who was a billionaire. Was it through Marcus Anderson that they met?
Yeah. Soho House. They're both part of the Soho House. And share this picture for people to see this.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, what are we looking at here?
This is Meghan Markle, Misha Nunu, Karina Shuliak, and who were yachting in the Mediterranean in Jeffrey Epstein's yacht.
Yeah, can I just say, why does it look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 best friends and that bitch that someone brought with them in this photograph? It looks like 6 people who all know each other, and then that one girl nobody invited. So again, You saying this is Misha Nunu here?
Yeah, the blonde is Misha Nunu. No, I'm not saying that is Misha Nunu. The other one is Karina Shuliak, who's Jeffrey Epstein's last known girlfriend.
Wow. Like most of what has blown my mind tonight, it's really all fallen into place here. We're seeing the picture sort of come together, and the fact that we've got pictures of then and now of these two girls completely gives testament to the handler narrative of Marcus Anderson. What do you guys think in the side chat? Let us know what you think, because the Marcus Anderson stuff, the plot is definitely thickening. And
well, at the center of it all, it's happening in Soho House. And who owns Soho House?
Ron Burkle.
Damn! So to me, he's the one setting up these girls and marrying them, just like Epstein did, to very influential men in order to control them.
And it's interesting because Babs's story, we talk about obviously the horrors, the human trafficking, all of it, but we can also rule out the fact that this could be hand-picking potential suitors for billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there is certain individuals that are picked for destruction, sadly, and some that are picked to facilitate business deals and to
blackmail. I do believe that they're blackmailed.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course, blackmail, of course. That's bread and butter business for the evil elite doers. But
I'm going to share another picture with you because it's also in the Mediterranean. And I just want people to understand that Karina Shuliak has gone on the record saying that the only times she was on a yacht or traveling was when she was with Jeffrey.
Damn.
This is Karina. This is Misha Nunu. This is Rachel Meghan Markle. So there's absolutely no way that Meghan Markle never met Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, I mean,
or Ron Burkle, because she flew, and allegedly, I have to say for legal reasons, in Ron Burkle's private plane to Jamaica. She was flown to Jamaica in Ron Burkle's private plane. Why? Who would be giving Meghan Markle a private plane?
Yeah, this is. Do you know what? Do you think the person that made this thought that they were using the pointing finger emoji?
No, it was me who made it.
Okay.
And I did it on purpose.
You did it on purpose. That's fine. Okay, because that was troubling me. The two things that bothered me about this picture was that emoji and the fact that the two women wearing hats have been sat beside each other on the one side of the table. I feel like there's a whole.
Because Meghan was available. Apparently, those were they used to use hats as signals that they were available or not available.
Damn! You see, somebody was thinking, oh, Ron, there he goes again, talking nonsense about hats. But then we learned something, didn't we? We learned something. So go with it sometimes. But yeah, there's my brain.
And guess who was very good friends with Epstein and stuff like that? Deepak Chopra, who's very now good friends with Meghan Markle. And he was in New York organizing the things. I mean, this is all, if you looked at this, at the epicenter of all of this is Ron Burkle. It's that house, Soho House.
Yeah. Do you know, Ryan Dawson done a pretty incredible like poster chart thing of like all of the Epstein stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like this between you, me, and Barb's, we need to build you guys give me the information, I'll build up. We need to connect. I need a visual. We need to start putting some people and some red string between names, because it is pretty wild how much we just got covered with your first meeting of Babs in 45 minutes, Paula. And
I got to tell you, today I just came from meeting one of Meghan Markle's former assistants. She was an assistant for almost a year. Wow. And then I met some people about Ron Burkle. And actually, Bob and I didn't even get to talk about the Windsor Arms Hotel, which is the poshest hotel here in Toronto. It's British, pretty much. And it's that's where the royal family stays. Prince Andrew used to stay there like all the time because he never liked staying at the Governor General's. And the Governor General's house is beautiful. I've been there too. It's a White House with Manuela. She walked me there. And it's amazing, white, beautiful house. And oddly, the rumored house that Harry and Meghan were supposed to buy was across the street from the Governor General's. And it was a small house for only 14 million Canadian dollars, but beautiful in Rosedale. But he never stayed at Ambassador's house, and they always stayed at the Windsor Arms here in Toronto because they didn't want people knowing what they were up to.
Yeah.
You know, and it's yeah, look at Dave's records. Ron Burkle's supermarket magnate friend of Clinton. Yeah. And Yucaipa, when he started the company, his advisor, his a consultant helping him set it up was Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton and Ron Burkle are very tight. And Bill Clinton was incredibly tight with Jeffrey Epstein. He's the one who got in the sweetheart deal in 2003.
Mm. And there's just been new documents talking about the Clintons and their extended stays on one of Epstein's ranches, some Wild Western themed ranch that he had, and it was suspicious amount of time, you know, and oddities that go on there. And Paula, we've not even had a conversation yet. We're gonna be making sure that
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Before
you let me finish my sentence.
I'm gonna forget. You know that I forget. I'm senile. I forget.
The middle of
a feeling. Before I forget, I have a feeling that Ron Burkle likes to keep the Jeffrey Epstein narrative going, so people don't focus on him.
Listen, 100%.
And I said the word "focus" correctly.
And I just want you to know, I sacrificed my point for your point because I've not forgotten my point. Okay, but look. We've not even touched yet or had a conversation about Prince Andrew, about the prayer session with the Pope. We are going to get the royal mess up and running again this week. It might be a day, we might change the day or the time, I don't know, but it will be back. It might be every fortnight instead of every week, but you guys, I love doing it. It's just, again, Ron's been all over the place, and you'll have noticed over the last sort of month or two, it's really just been me and a guest or whatever. There's not been many other than that. And we'll go over what's been going on at the right time. But Paula, you're awesome as always. Okay. And we're going to be back again very, very soon. And I'm live with Gary, the ex-cop, talking about CERN, talking about Elite, exposing all of Gary's new findings tomorrow night. And I just want to say, Paula, over my life on YouTube, there's been a lot of people who I've met, and you are one of the real deal, real ones. Big shout out to Shane as well, who I know he's in the side chat. He's one of the real ones too. But if you've ever been part of social media or the internet, you know just how many snakes in the grass there is. And I just want to say thank you for being so awesome and always being there for me. Because I really appreciate it.
Oh God, you're gonna make me cry, Ron. And you know, like I wore mascara today, dude. You know, like just because I knew Barb's was coming.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. I just big shout out to you.
Yeah, I love you, buddy. You know, like we need to do our drunken. We should do a drunken live just for the hell of it. You know, like
listen, Ron,
buy some tequila. And that's another thing. When we scratch. That's one question I wanted to ask Barb's.
Yeah.
It's about George Clooney. And Princess Eugenie's husband, Jack Brooksbank, because he was a bloody waiter at a members club house, and he met Eugenie. I do believe that Eugenie, the husband, was planted as well. And then George Clooney is huge part, and everything goes down to Ron Burkle, because I do believe that this guy's evil.
Yeah, 100%. And
are you smoking?
Yes. Leave me alone. Okay, you cry. I need to feed my filthy heart.
The feeling's gone, buddy.
I love it. So listen. Thank you to everyone for being here. Again, tomorrow night, I'm back tomorrow night. Big shout out to Shane and Sarah and the production team. They've got some absolute bangers lined up for the next couple of weeks for me. And we'll be back with Barb's. We'll be back with Royal Mess. We'll be back with Paula and Barb's.
I just want to say something. You asked me to come to Ron's Club. He never plays the music I like, and he always mocks the music I like. I tried to play Bad Boy, and he hated that song, and I love Bad Boy.
Music is outrageous.
Oh.
Outrageous. Okay, listen, we're not even gonna. If you want to hear some nostalgic club banging, face melting DJ madness,
do 80s music.
Do 80s music. I can't listen. I will do an 80s night. I will do an 80s night just for Paula M. We will get that.
I'll dance, buddy.
Well, God damn. Now there's definitely a reason to turn it. Thank you all. And thank you to the Shaun Attwood channel. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Babs. Thank you to Paula. Thank you to everyone. And thank you to you at home, the viewer. Without you guys, we are just literally two people on a Zoom call ranting on the internet. So,
probably.
Yeah. But look, thank you all. We'll see you in the next one. Please like, subscribe,
Karaoke.
and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys. Peace.